I'm pleased to say I'm joined by the former Euro Tour champion, Devon Petersen. Thanks for the time, Devon. How are you doing?
Hey, Alex. Thanks for having me. It's been a while, and a catch-up long overdue.
Definitely is. And before we get into it, first of all, two things. Have you finished Eric Bristows' book yet? And have you managed to shake off Josh Rock?
Josh Rock was slightly tough to kind of shake off, but he had a miserable journey. So, yeah, it was great to capture a picture of one of PDC's future talents. Great potential and a great kid. And then the Eric Bristows book, I'm taking it chapter for chapter, really. Every time I'm on a flight, I try and read a chapter because I don't want to complete the book too quickly. I am enjoying the stories just in and around darts and about players that I've idolized over the years and just see how normal they are. And also the mischief and trouble they got themselves into. So, yeah, I think it's a book that deserves a Netflix kind of series, and it would be something that darts would welcome, I'm sure.
We'd love to see that. Well, as you mentioned, there is a lot to catch up with you on since we last had you on our show. Just after that Euro Tour title win in Germany towards the end of 2020. I guess the first thing to mention is the European Championship a few weeks after that. What did it feel like going back to Germany that week as the number 4 seed, going into a major as one of the most informed players as well?
Yeah, it was different because obviously I'm always between kind of like in the kennels with the dogs and scrapping for the last bit of the meat, and now I'm kind of served on a platter and just eating from the top of the tree. And it was a different mentality about the form, like you said, the confidence. It just kind of put me in like a place of me deserving to be there, and not being gifted or just getting there by the hairs on my chin. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a different mentality, but it was something that I was quite ready for, and I think that which taught me a lot. It's taught me about the highs and lows and just of the game, and also just the mentality needed to be one of those players. And I think that I if it wasn't for the injury, I would have been sustaining it for longer periods. But yeah, there's a slow rebuild, and yeah, I'm feeling like a lot of my form has turned around now, and I feel like I can push on again. So comfortability is there with the throw, and just feeling like the best is still yet to come.
We should mention that weekend as well, making your first major semi-final. You played at a high-level all-tournament before just being edged out in a decider by James Wade. How do you look back on that run now?
I think it's something that I welcome because there's a lot of footage to kind of digest, but also there's a lot of mistakes I made in that game, like a lot of finishing errors, just setup and just timing and stuff that I can work on. So yeah, it was a great achievement, but I don't think it will be my best. I feel as though there's a lot still left in the tank and a lot left to learn. So yeah, it is one of those tick boxes now. Next one is to hopefully make a final of a major and then win a major. So yeah, and I'm hoping that major is the world champ. So yeah, I think it's all about the experience and just getting in the end getting that out of the green and making it to that final.
And last year we saw you go on another deep run quarterfinals of the UK Open. We saw your results start to dip after that, and last year ended with that early exit at Ali Pali. You said it was time to reset, come back stronger in 2022. Can you put your finger on wrong last year and what work you put in during that month between the Worlds and the new season?
Yeah, it was. So there was a slight little wrist injury that I had. Didn't make too much song and dance about it simply because you don't want to kind of keep that kind of info away. But now that it's past me, I can. So there was an injury that could have nearly put me out for a few months if I had to have the operation on it. There was injections that was proposed, or I had to change my throw so that it alleviates the pain and the way you dart or my wrist actually moves. So I chose the alleviating or changing of the throw. So it alleviates the pain, and yeah, it's caused me a lot more trouble than I thought because now I have to unlearn that throw and throw back to how I used to throw. So yeah, it's been gradual. I mean, it took me about 6 months to kind of play without pain, and then from there continuously just working, breaking down from stance to kind of just body posture and all of those things. And Chris White as well as Wayne Mardo was instrumental in that. And I think that my throw now is something that I can actually count on and depend on and trust. So yeah, I feel as though that kind of period of that euphoria I felt when winning the Euros, and then averaging low 80s. Probably some of the games were 70 as well, just shambolic in a sense, but understanding that the games are all about high and low, and it gave me a lot to think about, and also it built a lot of my character because I knew that I just had to go through this dark period, and once I come out of it, I'll be stronger than I was before I went in it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that strong period now.
And we did see you back a little earlier than expected this year with that late call-up for the Masters. What was it like playing in the Masters for the first time, and also seeing your close friend Joe Cullen go all the way and win it?
Yeah, it was crazy though, because it was still basically COVID times, and I was quite close to the top 24. It's not that you wished upon anybody, but you knew that if there was any time that there was going to be a withdrawal, it would be that. This time around, like within the COVID time, so yeah, it was different. I was preparing as if I was going to play in it. So when I got the call up, I wasn't kind of shocked by it in the sense that I'm not prepared. I was prepared for it, but Luke Humphries was just very good on the night, and seeing Joe lift his first major title, knowing that he was playing really well and got a nice purple patch going through, and also well deserved on Premier League selection. I mean, he's not playing his best right now, but still showing that he can mix with the boys. So yeah, it's a double win for me because myself and Joe has come a long way. And a lot of the times, I'm gonna say there's been like moments where we've kind of not depended directly on each other, but there's moments where you can kind of grab little bits of nuggets of information or just kind of just support and just be there for each other. And I think that him obviously going through what he done and then lifting the trophy was magical for him and his family.
And one of the reasons we wanted to get you back on the show this week as well is we saw the news recently about your academy, the Devon Petersen Darts Academy, working with your sponsor Shot Darts, a 3-year deal developing darts in Africa. Talk to us about that and your plans for the academy.
It's major. It's massive for me though, simply because it was a goal that started in probably 2019, 2018, and yeah, COVID obviously put it back. JDC was a massive part of it, giving kids the opportunity to compete on a global level and just seeing how they match up to international players as well. So it was something that was always in the works, but once COVID obviously came on, we had to wait for all restrictions to be lifted, especially in Africa, and understand that the place is safe for the kids to play. And then going back in April, which is a few weeks ago, it was great to actually see it come to fruition really, and just come alive, and just seeing the kids' eyes light up and the coaching, and I was able to kind of launch it with some corporates in South Africa, and a lot of people are looking to jump on board. Shot came on board first without needing to kind of beg and kind of promote it in a sense. They've been fantastic, and it's the kind of company that I am happy that I'm partnering up with and kind of have me as one of the profile players. Simply because it's not just about darts, it's about the support structure and the future of the sport, and they kind of showed a keen eye for it, and I'm glad that they've joined me and the academy. And then, yeah, I mean, there's 2 academies now in South Africa, and we adopted one in Nigeria as well, and hopefully looking to launch one in the US, which is keen opportunities and really going to expand and use my experience and expertise that I've gained over the years and impart that with the kids, and hopefully we can change the future of darts, and yeah, I have a legacy in that and a hand in that kind of future of changing of darts.
Keep up the great work with that. And speaking of the youngsters, I love the video of you at the school back here in the UK helping out the PDC with their Bullseye numeracy campaign, dancing along to your walk-on. That's probably the longest you've danced to that song, isn't it? Usually it's only a few seconds on the stage.
Yeah, it was definitely, but the kids enjoyed it as well, which kind of gives you a different kind of outlook on how they see darts. I mean, the numeracy of the dart is a skill that we've learned and we take for granted. Some of us still trying to learn it, but yeah, the numeracy is a massive thing, and I think that the PDC along with the Bullseye math program is fantastic, just to introduce a math lesson through a practical experience, and I think that kind of being there gave me a outlook as well, as in just to understand, like, being a role model is more than just throwing darts and being good at darts, actually doing stuff outside of on and off the hockey as well. So yeah, it was a great day. It was great meeting the kids and get to sign and just see their eyes light up. And then yeah, there's a daunting he's always a little party piece, and everybody enjoyed it. And like you said, it was found myself slightly out of bed after dancing for that long, but it was enjoyable nonetheless.
Glad to hear it. And we should mention as well, Danny Baggish, you called him your new roomie. How much have you enjoyed doing the tour with Danny these last few months?
Yeah, Danny's obviously a different kind of breed. He's an American, so they come with their own kind of vibe and mood and stuff. And yeah, Danny's Danny's an amazing player. I think once he realizes that, he'll achieve his full potential. On the tour, it's tough. Obviously, it's not easy leaving home, because there's a lot of people that you leave behind simply to follow your dream, and sometimes those sacrifices you feel a bit guilty and stuff like that. That kind of puts you in a position of whether you should continue. And sometimes the support is there, but it's not about the support. It's about from a mental perspective, because darts is always played between the ears basically, and you kind of look at it from a point as in, will Danny ever kind of achieve his full potential? But I feel as though having him in my corner and on my side is always a fun element to Danny. And yeah, I hope long may his career continue, and whatever he's going through right now, it's a tough time, but I'm sure that he'll be stronger when he returns.
The World Cup, we should mention as well, it's only a month away. Stefan Vermack will be partnering you. We saw the video you put up on Twitter of his double to win the qualifier. He looked pretty excited. Can you tell us a bit more about Stefan, who's also signed now with Shot Darts? What can we expect at the World Cup?
Stefan is a fantastic talent, a phenomenal talent. He's 18 years old. He will be 19 by the time the World Cup comes around. And he's got the student mentality. He reminds me a lot of myself, like not just from an achievement perspective, but just his demeanor and just wanting to achieve and success as well. His major appetite for success. So yeah, it didn't come as a surprise, but when I saw him dominate in the final, that was slightly a bit surprising, because the maturity that he showed in that final as well, win 7-0, but also just to kind of get over the line. I've been there a few times. The doubles become smaller when you need to get over the line, and found it quite easy to do that. So yeah, I think coming on stage, he's told me a lot about his aspirations of coming to Q School and working hard to that. I've seen him, he's made the provincial team, which is like the South African county teams for Eastern Cape. So he's definitely making his mark, and I think COVID, whilst they were playing the online, he played a lot of international tournaments and putting up some impressive averages where people thought there were times where he was cheating simply because they didn't think that South Africans could kind of throw in that way or perform in that way. So yeah, Stefan is definitely going to be a talent to watch. And I'm sure that come on in June, I think it's the 16th of June or the 17th of June when we play our first round game, it will be fantastic to see him perform on the stage and show the world exactly what he's about.
Looking forward to that debut. And back to you, a return to the pack calendar this year. You're in Leverkusen this weekend for the Euro Tour. Then we've got 2 Players' Championships next week during the week. What are the goals for you for the rest of this season now?
I think major goal is to definitely make the World. That is always the number one. The rest of the tournaments that fall between that is just a bonus. But getting to the World and being in peak form, I think now with everything, with no problems with the throw, kind of just need to find form and consistency. That's kind of where I'm at. And I think that once I get there to the World, I'll be quite comfortable. And who knows, I could be lifting that trophy next season.
And lastly, away from the darts, we know you're a big Liverpool fan. I won't mention my team, but can Liverpool complete the quadruple this season?
So I think 3 trophies definitely. The quadruple, we have to wait for a mistake from Man City. So that is always a tough one, because Pep Guardiola's men are really efficient and they have been really good all season. I think that the quadruple, obviously with the opportunity of the quadruple, that's great. But I think that the final that they're in so far, I think that focus on that more. And then if the league comes, then great, but you're going to have to wait for the slip. But Liverpool has showed dominance this season, even though Pep Guardiola's men on top of the league. They were flying by 10 points, so nobody thought that we could catch them, and we did. So yeah, let's see. I mean, there might be a twist in the tail with Aston Villa, hopefully kind of Gerrard's men doing us a favour, and this way Gerrard will kind of almost pay us back for the mistake, or not the slip, but not the mistake, the slip he made against Chelsea. But yeah, I think the 3 trophies we can kind of write our name on it, and we'll just hope and see for the league.
We shall see. Well, Devon, it's always a pleasure to catch up with you. We appreciate the time. Congratulations again on the launch of the Academy. Wish you all the best with that, and wish you all the best with your darts as well for the rest of the year.
Thanks a lot for having me, Alex. And yeah, hopefully next time we catch up, there's a trophy or majors involved.